The PM tears up Dan's deal with China. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, let's look at this article from the Daily Mail. Because apparently there's no benefit to Dan's deal with China, the PM to tear up the controversial Victorian deal with China. Now, I'm surprised that states are involved in foreign affairs, but, I guess that's how you have it. With Dan, with Victoria, he wants to run his own little country. Maybe they should secede. Prime Minister Scott Morrison has claimed Victoria's controversial Belt and Road Initiative agreement with China has no benefits and could be ripped up in a matter of weeks. Victorian Premier Dan Andrews signed a Memorandum of Understanding in 2018 with China relating to its mega 1.5 trillion One Belt, One Road policy. But the deal, which would have given Beijing's funding and control of key Victorian infrastructure, came under heavy criticism. Fantastic. Isn't Australia doing well? Well, we need to go to an authoritarian communist nation to fund our infrastructure. Wow. So proud to be Australian, guys. Really, so proud. No wonder they don't want you celebrating Australia Day, or even if you have a tinge of nationalistic thinking, oh, you're bad, you're evil, But don't worry, your BLM protest, that's allowed in Melbourne. Well, you can't even visit your grandmother. Bloody. Andrews and other state premiers and chief ministers must detail to the Commonwealth all agreements made with foreign powers by March 10, which will then be assessed by the federal government. I mean, couldn't that be a concern for foreign interference? But then again, that'd be half the Labour Party funding, wouldn't it, guys? Hey, those Aldi bags. It's not brown bags anymore, it's Aldi bags. I'm a fan of Aldi. And Mr. Morrison sent a blunt message to Victoria about the future of its deal with China. I haven't seen the benefits of it, Mr. Morrison said to the Herald Sun. If there are benefits, what are they, and what was paid for them? I don't have the answer to those questions at this point, but the assessment of those arrangements will continue. Andrews has so far defended the agreement and had promised it would mean more jobs and more trade and investment for Victorians. But there is growing concern state deals could become a backdoor to foreign nations increasing their influence in Australia. See, this is the thing, guys. We don't even need to be worried about foreign nations. We need to be worried about the rampant rise of authoritarian leftism and social justice that's occurring here in Australia. You've got sure, you've got foreign interference. I'd be more worried about a generation that is supportive of socialism that is growing up. I looked at my early videos. I spoke about this years ago. There was an article where, Melbourne leftists were all, young people were all supporting about socialism. They all had these naive ideas. Well, at least they're getting a taste now of what an authoritarian government is like. They're getting a taste, guys. This is why we want liberty. This is why we need to shift the Overton window so we can advocate for more individual resilience, more individual responsibility, and to realize the state isn't going to take care of you guys. It's impossible. It's a huge bureaucratic mess. It's just too big. They might be able to kind of shift masses, but the individual is going to get crushed in the process. Maybe that will be the good thing that comes out of all of this mess that's happening here. All the lockdowns over one case. It'll wake people up politically. That could be the bonus. Maybe that's the silver lining, everyone. What do you reckon? And we see a shift of the Overton window. And by the Overton window, for some people who haven't heard of that term, I did a video on it before, but essentially, it's, these are the things that you can discuss in politics. Here in the middle of the window, you've got further to one side, then it gets a bit more controversial, and to the other side. What happens is over time, the window shifts more and more left. So if you just look at some of the policies, well, the perfect example, look at Latham in One Nation, in the Senate in New South Wales. He used to be the opposition leader for the Labour Party. Now, it doesn't look like his thinking or his opinions have changed that much at all. But now, he's in The One Nation Party, who the media falsely considers right-wing, when you look at some of their policies, not at all. If anything, I would say they're quite centrist. They're well, more nationalistic. They're civic nationalists, guys. But that just shows you that because of just the media and the culture moving more and more to this side, you start getting young people thinking that it's the government's job to take care of them, not that it's theirs. Hopefully this will all change. Maybe I'm just being, unusually optimistic because I'm having my first coffee for the day, but we'll see. Morrison confirmed his desire to see Australian federal policy driving all foreign relations deals. Well, yeah. That's a very important principle. There has to be consistency when national governments deal with other national governments, Morrison said. We didn't agree with it in the first place, still don't agree with it, and no doubt decisions on that will be made in due course, Treasurer Josh Frydenberg said of the Victoria-China agreement. The intention was made possible when federal legislation was passed in December, allowing the foreign minister to review and scrap state, territory, local council, and public university deals with other nations. China responded by accusing Australia of putting bacteria in the relationship between the two nations after Morrison tabled the new legislation. Putting bacteria. I mean, come on. Is that a dig at the pandemic, or is it? The problem is that you've got there's such cultural differences. Sometimes insults, when they're translated from one language to another, just don't make any sense. That'd be a good book. Failed insults around the world. When asked in Beijing on Thursday about the Australian government's plans to tear up Victoria's deal, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Zhenjiang sang the praises of the initiative and lashed out at Canberra. Of course he would. We hope Australia will view such cooperation objectively and reasonably and stop putting bacteria into this relationship and do more to improve our mutual benefits, the Australian reported. Well, that needs to be handled at a federal level, not at a state level. Victoria isn't a country. Sorry, Dan. Sorry, rampant lefties that want to turn it into our version of California. It's not hot enough. China's cooperation with the Victorian state under the BRI has enhanced the benefits for people on both sides of the deal. Yeah, the bureaucrats, the bureaucratic class, I bet. The Australian National University professor, Rory Medcalf, argued premiers and first ministers need the best possible advice on foreign interference and a greater say on Australia's national security policy, as rival countries show no respect for the niceties of federation. This includes security issues relating to critical infrastructure, as well as those associated with espionage, propaganda, and cyber threats. The professor says, federal security briefings to state-based counterparts, such as those which occurred on the BRI, are not always taken seriously enough, often because state officials are not cleared to hear all details. Accordingly to the Lowy Institute, the Belt and Road Initiative is motivated by strategic as well as economic factors. The combination of strategic and economic drivers is not always easy to reconcile, wrote Peter Kea, the Institute's project director of Australia-China relations. In some cases, China's strategic objectives make it difficult to sell the economic aspects of the initiatives to China's neighbours. So there we have it, everyone. Victoria's Belt and Road Agreement with China looks like it will be torn up. What do you think? Do you think the states should be making these type of deals? What do you reckon? Or should it be left at a federal level? I mean, we have a federation for a reason. Why doesn't Victoria try to leave the federation? WA tried to. Maybe they should. That referendum was shot down. What do you reckon? That would be interesting. Just let Victoria run itself. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us by PayPal. You can also join MeetRx or SelfWealth and help us out those ways. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.